At GCSE you learned the sine rule and the cosine rule, but what you didn't learn is that in some cases of the sine rule there are two possible solutions to the problem that you've been posed. It depends upon the order in which the information has been given to you. But for example, if you are told side-side angle, so if I were to draw this out, A to C is 7, so somewhere here is 7, okay. AB is 11, okay, and angle B is 25. So I know that my AB is 11, angle B is 25, and AC is 7. Well, if you imagine putting a compass here, open at 7 centimeters, and drawing your arc, you can see there are two possible places where a 7 centimeter arc would meet a 25-degree angle coming off of the end of an 11 centimeter line. So we call it the ambiguous case of the sine rule, where there are two possible answers. The clue to this is the phrasing of the question. If the question says something about give all possible answers or give answers to two decimal places, anything to imply that there are plural answers, then it may well be the ambiguous case. Okay, and if it is, start with a sketch to prove to yourself that there are two possible ways that you could do this. I think using a compass to open a circle at, in this case, 7 centimeters, is a good way. So if we were dealing with this using the sine rule now, so I've got my triangle here. I've been told that this is 11, this is 25, and this is 7. So in other words, as I said earlier, the information is given to me in side-side angle form, not in, for example, side, angle, side form. Okay. So I do the sine rule on this diagram, and I find that sine C is 0.664, which gives me C is 41.6 degrees from my calculator, which is telling me this solution up here, this is 41.6 degrees. But if you go back to your GCSE material about finding all solutions between 0 and 360, we know that the graph of sine x looks like this, going up to +1 and down to -1. So there are two solutions to sine x equals 0.664. If I draw my line across at 0.664, the calculator has given me this first solution at 41.6, which, as I said, represents this triangle. But there is also a second solution, which I find by using the symmetry of the graph. So if this point is 41.6 onwards from 0, then this one is 41.6 backwards from 180. So in other words, 138.4. And that one obviously represents the obtuse angle option, which is this triangle here. Okay. So all in all, it's a combination of stuff that you knew at GCSE. You knew the sine rule at GCSE, and you knew how to find all solutions from 0 to 360 at GCSE. So if you need to revise those topics, you can go back and look at the lessons for them. And it's a scenario which arises when the information in the sine rule problem is given to you in side-side angle order, which is easy to spot if you just give yourself a quick sketch at the start of the problem